Hey, what's up? It's your boy, 24/7 here with 24/7 Fusion Media. And within the last day or two, the Flash movie plot leaked onto the internet. And I haven't really seen too many people talking about it. But I've seen some folks trying to confirm whether it's real or not. And to be honest, I went to Reddit. I read the whole leak twice. Some things made sense, other things didn't. But I found this article here on small screen talking about the plot leak, and they basically condensed it to where they got most of the most important parts of the leak. And I wanted to kind of go through it with y'all, and hopefully you guys let me know what you think once we go through it. All right. So the Flash movie's whole plot reportedly leaked. All right, let's see what's being said about this. It seems as though the whole plot for Warner Brothers' upcoming DC Comics The Flash movie has been leaked, and this leaked plot sounds rather interesting to me. Before I get into this leak, I must warn you that there are potential spoilers for the Flash movie in this article. All right, good. Warning, spoilers incoming. That said, I also implore you to take this with a nice sprinkle of salt because it does come from a post on Reddit. However, there's a lot in this leak that makes sense to me, and if it does end up being genuine, then it would really be a fun movie. All right. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's go on with the supposed Flash plot leak. What's going to happen reportedly in the Flash movie. All right. The Redditor, Starship and Coffee, rather hopefully, has put everything in bullet points for us, which makes for the plot a bit easier to follow because it does seem like a lot's going to happen in Andy Muschietti's The Flash. All right, according to the leak, Reverse Flash will be teased towards the beginning of the movie. All right. The leak states there's 100% a tease for Reverse Flash when Barry's mom is killed. A yellow figure smiles at Barry and lunges at him. Barry escapes before the yellow figure can get to him. No actor or voice is pretty hard to make the figure out because he's just standing in the dark and you can only see his yellow arm and his red eyes. The leak then goes to add that Ezra Miller has amazing chemistry with the woman who plays Barry's mom, and I heard people started crying when Barry realized he couldn't save her. This sounds like it will be an emotional film, to say the least. So folks are crying in this motherfucker. Ezra Miller got people crying. Wow. They then state that Black Flash will not really be the film's villain, but rather its future Flash wearing a Black Flash suit. Okay. All right, so what the fuck else are they saying? The leak adds that there will be 3 Barrys in the movie. These Barrys will be, firstly, the one we've seen in the movie's trailers, the one with the long hair, secondly, Ezra Miller's DCEU Barry, and third, Evil Barry. Okay, so there's 3 of these motherfuckers, all right? Yeah, we saw that from the pictures and the fucking trailer. These will all be played by Miller himself. According to the leak, Evil Barry will kill the Barry with long hair in the movie, and they add it'll be brutal. And then add that Evil Barry is actually just the Barry with long hair from the future, which has me a bit confused because why would he then kill himself? Yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense either. But like I say, take this shit with a grain of salt. Wouldn't that mean that Evil Barry would then disappear from existence? I don't know. I suppose it is a comic book movie after all, and time travel can be tricky, and that's not even taking into account the multiverse and Speed Force, both of which will be in this movie. All right. Well, yeah, it's hard to understand that how can a future version of somebody kill the past version of himself without the future version disappearing. Yeah, that's always been one of those tropes in fucking time travel movies and comic books and different things of that sort. Back to the leak. It then adds that Evil Barry's motivation is that when DCEU Barry came to his universe, he ruined everything and destroyed his world. I wonder how. But they got a evil Barry Allen. That shit sounds whack as fuck. Why don't you just get fucking Reverse Flash and just make him the villain and that's that? Why they gotta be three? They added that Evil Barry has become obsessed with trying to save his work and keeps on attempting to reverse time and prevent his Earth from being destroyed, but it fails every time. Therefore, in a final last-ditch effort to save his Earth, he goes after the person who started this whole mess, the DCEU's Barry Allen. Okay, but I know what you're gonna say. Who's the one destroying Evil Barry's Earth? Well, the leak said that it's Zod, General Zod. And we do know that Michael Shannon is going to be playing his Man of Steel character in the movie, right? So what happened and why does Evil Barry blame DCEU Barry for the destruction of his Earth? Well, it all has to do with Evil Barry going into the Speed Force to go back in time to try to save his mother from being murdered. Yeah, just like in the comic book. However, he then adds that in the battle with Evil Barry, or Barry from the future, as I like to call him, then in the DCEU version of the Trickster is accidentally knocked out of the Speed Force and ends up in an alternative universe, which happens to be Michael Keaton's Batman's Earth. Right. What they call his Earth, Earth 89. For real, that's what they called it in fucking Christ on Infinite Earths from the TV show. And if Grant Gustin is supposed to be making an appearance in this movie, then that makes all that shit canon. So what? That makes Michael Keaton coming from Earth 89 because he's Batman 89. Oh boy. Then the leak goes on to add that Sasha Calle, who's going to be playing Supergirl in the movie, is one of the best parts of the movie. Wow. So Sasha Calle is supposed to be some badass shit when she shows up. We'll see, right? So what happens to the DCEU's Barry when he ends up stuck in the alternate Earth? All right, let's figure that shit out. That's a cool ass bat signal with the blood on it. I like that shit. Well, Flash manages to find Michael Keaton's Earth's Barry Allen. Somehow it's not really explained. This Barry Allen is the version with the long hair we referenced earlier. We also seen him in a rather short trailer for the movie that we saw back at DC Fandom. These two Barrys have the same powers, and they both convince Michael Keaton's Batman to find Calle's Supergirl in order to fight a new threat, which is potentially General Zod. That sounds weird. But why would Batman not want to help? Why did they have to convince him? Huh. And I guess what? The Barry Allen from Michael Keaton's universe, he's not cool with Batman? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of questions. It's like you'd have figured that a lot of these super powered beings, you know, these superheroes would have met up somehow in the last 30-something years, right? That whenever it was time for Michael Keaton's Barry Allen to fucking show up, I mean, I don't know, man. I guess everybody's keeping to themselves. Motherfuckers can't be friends wherever the fuck they're from, right? Wow. However, they end up losing the battle, and the two Barrys try to reverse time to save the universe, but it all ends up failing. The DCEU Barry then gives up, but the second Barry doesn't. I guess this might be what they're saying. And that's when the evil Flash, who is actually just the second Barry, but from the future, appears and reveals he tried to reverse time multiple times to save his Earth and failed. Damn. Just to think you have the power to go back in time and do shit, but every time you do, you fucking fail every time you do it. Huh. Wouldn't that be some shit? Right, this is when things get really interesting and kind of intense. All right, let's see what the fuck is going on here. Rather than trying to reverse time yet again, the evil Barry goes into the Speed Force to try to kill the person who caused this incident in the first place, the DCEU's Barry Allen. This leak isn't quite done there. The author goes on to add that Ezra Miller's Barry is more like an amalgamation of Wally West and Bart Allen. Why would he have to be an amalgamation of these two? Why couldn't he just be, if he's just a guy that cracks jokes and shit like that, then he's more like Wally West. The thing about Bart Allen, who is Impulse for you guys that don't know, is that he was raised basically in a world of virtual reality. So the whole thing that makes Bart Allen different than all the other Flashes is he has no sense of danger or responsibility. because when you live in VR, whatever you do, you can't get hurt. And he had to learn this when he came into the real world. When he got pulled out of that world, was because he didn't understand the actions of his consequences, because he's never been in any kind of danger. And that's what made him like funny, but at the same time, it made him vulnerable and prone to problems. But I mean, that's what made him unique, is that he didn't have a sense of consequence. So he just did whatever the fuck he wanted to do, and for the most part, he fixed some of his shits. But you know, it was funny to see a Flash in that kind of perspective. But Wally West is nothing but a jokester. Always crack jokes and all kinds of other shit. I mean, especially when he became the Flash. You know, he trust me, he wasn't that funny in the Teen Titans. But when he became the Flash, he became kind of a jokester. And so yeah, that's what it is. And he's apparently going to keep some sort of comedic tone, which we've come to expect from his version of Barry Allen in these DCEU movies. The leak then goes on to add that Barry Allen will freak out like a little fangirl when he sees the Batmobile. Oh yeah. Freak out like a little fangirl. Okay, I can see that. Right, what about the movie's finale? How will it read? Well, it sounds like this movie's already going to be pretty dark, and yet there will still be some darker moments ahead. According to the leak, Shannon's General Zod will kill a bunch of people in this movie. He will kill Keaton's Batman and Kaye's Supergirl. Apparently, he will break her neck, a bit like how Henry Cavill's Superman broke General Zod's neck in Man of Steel. Huh. So Sasha Calle is about to get her shit pushed in. That's fucked up. And Michael Keaton Batman's gonna get his ass murked in this movie. Instead of them actually killing off Ben Affleck's Batman, they fuck around and kill off Michael Keaton's Batman. I don't know. All right, let's keep going, because I got a few things to say, but that's not all. The leak also adds that General Zod will kill Henry Cavill's Kal-El as a baby. Wow. How the fuck is that gonna work? I don't know what the fuck to believe. That's kind of fucked up. Bear in mind that this also takes place in an alternate Earth. So it doesn't mean that Warner Brother Pictures is going to kill off Cavill's actual Superman as a baby. Right, I guess what they're saying is that's the Superman that's over there in Michael Keaton's neck of the woods. So the Superman that was going to come about in Michael Keaton's universe, Earth 89, that Earth Superman gets killed off as a baby, is what they're saying. And that would be too cruel even for the Warners. The Warner Brothers, huh? Shit. The leak then added that Nicolas Cage's Superman will not be in the movie, and that he's not going to be the Superman in Michael Keaton's Batman's Earth. All right, that's whatever. That would have been cool, because Cage almost played Superman in Tim Burton's canceled Superman movie. Yeah, we know that. Shame they aren't going to give a little nod and a wink to that project. Well, you never know, right? You never know. Right, it's now cameo reveal time for the Flash movie. The leak claims that there will be a lot of cameos in this movie, and they'll all take place during a scene in which the evil Flash and the DCEU's Flash race each other. The evil version of Barry Allen is going to try to kill the DCEU's Barry in this scene, and I think this will be a big chase scene that will end up taking place in the Speed Force. Okay, and it says this isn't really explained in the leak, but it does state that they end up traveling into the multiverse, and this is when we'll get to see a load of different DC comic characters from through the ages. Okay. These characters will reportedly include Robert Pattinson's Batman. Okay. Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, Adam West's Batman. They should have Burt Ward as Robin. I don't see why the fuck not. And Grant Gustin's Flash. All right. We did reveal a while back that Gustin was seen on the set of the Flash movie and that he filmed a cameo for the movie. So maybe that's what we're going to see here. Okay, that's all good and fun, but what does this mean for the DC Universe's timeline? It's already a bit of a mess, and it looks like this Flash movie is going to end up messing up things even more. I wonder how. According to the leak, any film and TV show, including Peacemaker, released between Man of Steel and Shazam 2, are set in the old timeline. The leak continues, Shazam 2 is set in the old timeline. Everything after The Flash is set in the new timeline. Green Lantern, Zatanna, Batgirl, etc. Okay, I do have one question. What does all this mean for Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom and also Matt Reeves' future Batman movies? Yeah, that is a good question. I mean, where does Aquaman take place at in between all that? Very, very interesting. I'm hoping that Warner Brothers has the sense to keep the Batman movies completely separate from all of this. There's also the problem of Wonder Woman 3, but I'm not even sure whether that film will ever see the light of day. Yeah, I think we'll see Wonder Woman 3 in a couple of years. The leak also adds that Iris West, who's going to be played by Kiersey Clemons, will only have a cameo in the movie. She's going to reportedly appear at the end of the movie when Barry's dad is finally released from prison. Henry Allen, Barry's father, is going to be played by Ron Livingston in the movie after Billy Crudup was forced to drop out due to scheduling conflicts. It all seems as though Warner Brothers has a much bigger plan for this Flash movie. And that's what I've heard also. According to this leak, this movie is going to set up a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie, which would be a DC Films take on Avengers Endgame. The leak adds that Warner Brothers' plan is to use Keaton as a temporary replacement for the DCEU Batman. My answer to that little bit of leak is, what about Ben Affleck's Batman? It has been revealed that Affleck's Batman is going to be in the movie, and I can't really see any evidence of him in this supposed leak. Well, it does go on to state that Batfleck doesn't die, but isn't a part of the new timeline. So I don't really know what's going on there. Honestly, this movie does sound like quite a bit of fun. The thing is, we're already seeing Ben Affleck as Batman over in Glasgow shooting parts to this movie. There was also his stunt double riding around in the Bat Cycle. There's also footage of that shit. So Ben Affleck has more of a part of just showing up. It looks like he's going to be in some kind of action. And from what I've heard, he's supposed to be fighting Michael Keaton's Batman in this movie. Like, both Batmans are going to fucking show up at the same time and they're going to fucking fight or whatever the fuck. I want to see some shit, man. Look, if you're going to have all this shit going on, you might as well fucking turn it up to 100 and let it all hang out. So there's a lot that's being said about this movie that we know is in there. You know, there's supposed to be those cameos of Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot. There's all kind of stuff that's supposed to be in here. But it looks like they either pick and chose what they decided to leak. Maybe half of this shit is true and half of this is bullshit. Or maybe all this shit is a big old fucking lie. But I just thought, you know, it'd be fun to see what the fuck was going on with this. However, as I warned you at the very beginning of this rather long article, don't take this Flash plot leak at face value. It can end up being a load of utter rubbish, but it's always fun to speculate that there's a lot here that does make sense. The idea of the 3 Barrys, I think, is right. And I also think that one of those Barrys will end up being a villain of sorts. We know that Zod is in this movie, so I do expect some rather brutal scenes with him, especially with the news that they've gotten Shannon to return to the role. The Flash is expected in cinemas on June 23rd, 2023 in the United States. And is directed by Andy Muschietti and screenwriter Christina Hodson. All right, so what do you guys think of this leak? Myself, I can see where some of it's coming from. Other parts of it, I don't understand. Looks like Ben Affleck has a bigger part in it that it looks like it's not being talked about. It looks like Kiersey Clemons had a bigger part in this, because from what I understood, she was there not to just record a scene or two, but she was there for the majority of the movie. So I don't understand what's going on with her character from this leak. I could see there being more than one villain here. They could be the one villain that everybody thinks is the bad guy, and that's probably the evil Barry. But then behind the scenes, it's really the Reverse Flash. And hopefully that's a whole nother motherfucker. Because if there's 4 fucking Ezra Millers running around, then that would be a whole lot of bullshit. Because the Reverse Flash or Professor Zoom, whatever you want to call him, he's not an evil version of Barry Allen. These are totally different individuals. So all this shit about it all being the same person, I don't know why the fuck they decided to do that. They'll probably saving on the budget of hiring fucking Ezra Miller to play 3 or 4 parts. Okay, and what? Instead of you having to pay 3 or 4 different motherfuckers. Oh man. This, some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. It just adds to the speculation of what the fuck's actually going to happen in this movie. I'm just interested in knowing what you guys think of this. So, like I say, you guys let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please share, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy, 24/7 here with 24/7 Fusion Media. And I'm out. Peace.